To understand him, you need to understand the white room. His father, his father's facility. No childhood, no friends, no play, just performance. Win or be discarded. He wasn't raised, he was engineered. Psychologists call what he developed emotional blunting. When a child grows up in an environment that punishes feeling, it might be relatable to you, and when the rewards are only the results. The brain shuts off emotions not by choice, but as protection. So he arrives kudo ikuse perfectly built for its social warfare. The problem is he was built at what cost? Everything that makes a person human is not his elements. He wasn't built like that. He was built from brutality.
You know that feeling when you walk into a room and immediately start reading everyone in it. Who's in bad mood? Who's faking a smile? Who to avoid? And most people think that's just being smart, being aware. But if you do that and remove every single emotion attached to it, no empathy, no guilt, attachment to any outcome for anyone, that's not awareness anymore. That's Kiyotaka ayanokoji. And by the end of this video, you are going to realize he's not as different from you as you think. And that should scare you a little. Now, here is the part that actually got me. You watched all of that, and part of you admired it. The calm, the control, the way nothing touches him, the way he wins without him trying. And that's not weird. That's honest. Because a lot of us have been in situations where we wish it. We just didn't feel anything, where the emotions was getting in the way, where being detached felt like it would make everything easier. You have read a room, you have said the right thing instead of the true thing. You have helped someone because of what it got to you, not just because you cared. That's not ill. That's sent human. That's a survival instinct. But ayanokoji is what happens when you never stop it, when you perform for so long and so completely that the real version of you just disappears. When the armor becomes the person, look at he has actually nothing, no rest, no one knows him. Any existence built entirely on control. You still have the version of yourself that feels things, that gets nervous, that cares too much. That's not weakness. That's the one thing he can never get back. It's your choice. If you keep it, you will gain control, but not over yourself, over other people. Think about the pressure you felt growing up, school, parents, expectation, the constant feeling that you had to perform to be worth something. Now, multiply that by 100. Remove every moment of warmth. Remove every friend, every laugh, every day where you were just allowed to exist without needing to prove something. And that's the white room. The facility Ayanokoji's own father built to engineer the perfect human. No childhood, no play, just results or punishment. And here's what that does to a person. When your brain learns early enough that feelings are the things that are dangerous, that vulnerability gets you hurt, it shuts those feelings off, not as a choice, as a survival. Psychologists call it emotional blunting. You know it as that the version of yourself that goes completely numb in stressful situations.
Here's the uncomfortable part. A lot of people recognize something in him: the hyper vigilance, the performance, the feeling that you value dependence entirely on how useful you are. That sense, yes, I'm talking about that. That actually, like someone in dangerous situations, is like ayanokoji. Ayanokoji is the extreme version of something real. People who grew up in high pressure environment, always performing, just like they never existed, often develop a version of that same disconnection. You get good at reading rooms, yes, you get, while losing the ability to read yourself. That show dress this up as a power fantasy, but look at what he actually has: no rest, no real connection, an entirely existence built on control. Because anything else feels unsafe, his tragedy is that it was decided for him before he could choose anything. Yours wasn't, yes. He, yours wasn't chosen. And that means the path back to feeling things is still open. If this kind of problem breaks down, it hits different for you. Subscribe and drop in the comments what should I make for the next part of this series.
And then he walks into school, and everyone thinks they are the ones making moves. They are not. Every single conversation he has, he's not talking to you. He's trying to study you, mapping your fears, your ego, your weak points, filling it all away for later. You know how sometimes you can tell someone's fake lying, or that a compliment someone gave you had a motive behind it. He does that constantly. Without it, everyone expect he uses what he finds. Hoikita thinks she is becoming a leader on her own. No, she isn't. He engineered every situation that pushed her there, silently invisible, silently invisible, because he needed a strong piece on the board. Rion thinks he is hunting ayanokoji. He already walked into the trap 10 episodes ago. Karuizawa is one that really gets you. He blackmails her, uses her deepest secret. He blackmails her, uses her deepest secret as a leverage, and then she starts trusting him. Because for the first time in her life, someone saw her at her absolute worst and didn't look away. She doesn't realize his calm isn't acceptance, it's just absence of any feeling at all. That's the most chilling thing about him. He doesn't need to care about you to completely own you. In fact, not caring in his entire advantage. You are not person to him. You are a mom, and he already knows what comes after you. And you might be doing that too to every person around you. So if you can filter it out, maybe you can filter your inner monster.